Have you ever, paused to consider how deeply personal care appliances are woven into our daily routines? Think about it. Your electric toothbrush, maybe that hair dryer you rely on, facial cleansers, beard trimmers. These aren't just gadgets, are they? They're really integral to how we present ourselves. And together, well, they power this massive and frankly, rapidly expanding industry. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the global personal care appliances market. We'll be using the latest insights from cognitive market research to really understand its surprising growth. So just to set the stage, the sheer scale here is pretty incredible. We're talking over $20.7 billion generated in 2021 alone.
And that's just the starting point, really. The projections, they're quite striking. It's forecasted to hit nearly $27 billion by 2025 and then jump again quite significantly to an astonishing $44.2 billion by 2033. What's really significant, I think, is the compound annual growth rate, the COGR. It's 6.5% over that whole period. That's, consistent, healthy expansion year after year. It really highlights the sustained global demand.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack that growth. We're going to go through it region by region. We'll spotlight the established players, sure, but maybe more importantly, uncover those hidden gems, the areas seeing truly explosive rapid expansion. So yeah, let's unpack this. Okay, so we just heard the total market is projected to more than double, over $20.7 billion in 2021, heading towards, north of $44 billion by 2033? That really underlines this universal and, frankly, escalating demand, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And while the big picture is global growth, the source gives us this really fascinating regional breakdown. It shows that, some areas lead in sheer volume, but others are showing these incredibly accelerated growth rates. It's not just about more people buying things. It's about significant shifts, consumer behavior, market dynamics, the whole thing.
Okay, let's kick things off then. North America, it's still a dominant force, right? Accounting for nearly $8.8 billion back in 2021. And it's expected to more than double that size, getting over $18 billion by 2033. That's a solid 6.187% CAGR.
Right. And within North America, the U.S. is, predictably the leader. It pulled in over $7.1 billion in 2021, and its market's projected to clear $14 billion by 2033. It's mature, yes, but still showing very robust growth.
Canada shows strong momentum, too. Started over $911 million in 2021, projected to hit over $2.1 billion by 2033, and its CAGR is actually a bit higher, nearly 7%, 6.999%. What do you think's driving that little extra kick north of the border?
That is interesting, but what's truly fascinating, I think, in North America is Mexico. It emerges as the fastest growing market in the whole region, an impressive 8.067% CAGR. It started around $764 million, projected to hit over $1.8 billion. This kind of exceptional growth rate, it really suggests significant shifts, things like consumer preferences, rising disposable income maybe.
Yeah, especially with a growing middle class, perhaps.
Yeah.
More investment in personal well-being.
Exactly that.
Okay, let's move across the Atlantic. Europe also commands a pretty substantial market share, over $3.7 billion in 2021. And like North America, set to more than double, rising to over $7.7 billion by 2033. The CCR there is 6.338%. Healthy.
Healthy indeed. And the European data shows some key trends. Germany, for instance, led in 2021. It's set to nearly double its market size, too, growing at a strong 6.678% CAGR. But look at the UK. It's showing even higher growth, projected at a really robust 7.385% CAGR.
Higher than Germany.
Yeah. This faster pace in the UK, it could indicate maybe a particular openness to new product types, or perhaps a stronger influence from beauty and grooming trends.
Interesting. And we also see significant, steady contributions from other big European economies. France projected to nearly double, growing close to 5.9% annually. Italy and Russia also showing consistent expansion, both over 5.5% CAGR. Spain's a bit lower, but still, healthy growth, over 5.2%.
And it's not just the giants. The data highlights strong performance in the Nordics, too. Like Sweden, growing over 6.2% annually.
Right.
Denmark as well. Plus, you have these smaller but high-performing markets like Switzerland and Luxembourg, both with CAGRs over 6%.
Right.
Even the rest of your category shows broad growth, almost 6.9% CAGR. It really reinforces that these appliances are staples right across the continent.
Okay, now let's shift focus to Asia Pacific. This region is, truly surging. It grew from over $5 billion in 2021, projected to hit $11.3 billion by 2033. That's advancing at a robust 6.678% CAGR, a real powerhouse.
And China, as you might guess, holds a dominant position there. Set to climb from over $1.7 billion in 21 to over $4 billion by 33. That's a strong 6.993% CAGR. Just the sheer size and continued growth are remarkable.
Japan also stands out. A significant stable market, over $1 billion in 2021, expected to more than double to over $2 billion by 2033.
But a key highlight really in Asia-Pacific is India. It's emerging as one of the fastest growing countries globally in the sector, rising from $525 million in 2021 to over $1.3 billion by 2033. That's an impressive 7.601% CAGR.
Wow, yeah.
That kind of rapid acceleration points to a massive consumer base, rising incomes, and people increasingly investing in personal grooming.
And we see other dynamic markets too. South Korea growing over 6.5% annually, Australia over 6.3%, Singapore over 6.1%, and Southeast Asia as a whole is just surging ahead, 7.424% CAGR. That indicates a strong regional trend.
And if we're pinpointing the highest growth in Asia-Pacific, that would be Taiwan. Projected to grow from about $161 million to over $443 million by 2033. That's a truly robust 8.131% CAGR.
8%.
Yeah. This kind of concentrated high-speed growth in a smaller, often tech-savvy economy like Taiwan is particularly noteworthy. Really interesting.
Okay, moving down to South America now. That market generated over $1 billion in 2021, projected to reach over $2 billion by 2033 with a 5.908% CAGR. Still solid growth.
Brazil clearly dominates the South American market, which makes sense. Its growth from over $445 million to over $903 million by 2033. That's a 6.085% CAGR. It reflects its position, largest economy, biggest population, consistent, steady growth there.
And other significant contributions are coming from Argentina, growing nearly 6.4% annually. Colombia is over 6.2%. Peru and Chile also showing solid growth. It all adds up to that region's upward trend. Okay, let's explore the Middle East market next. Valued over $893 million in 2021 and projected to reach over $2 billion by 2033, showing a high 7.22% CAGR. That's definitely above the global average.
Yeah, it is. And Saudi Arabia is really leading the charge in that region. A projected 7.816% CAGR, poised to more than double its market size. The UAE also shows strong acceleration, 7.594% CAGR.
That's very high, too.
Very high. These growth rates are likely fueled by, significant disposable incomes and maybe a strong cultural emphasis on personal appearance in those Gulf nations.
Makes sense. Other key players include Turkey, over 7% CGR, Egypt, nearly 6.9% annually, both showing strong, consistent expansion, and Qatar is demonstrating rapid growth too, 7.354% CGR, so broad adoption across the region.
Definitely.
Okay, finally, let's wrap up the regional analysis with Africa. And this is where, as you said, the story gets really interesting. It boasts the highest regional CGR in the entire source material, an incredible 8.187%, growing from over $1.2 billion in 2021 to a forecasted $3 billion, so actually just over $3 billion by 2033. What's driving this incredible surge?
This is truly a remarkable highlight. The source identifies South Africa as the fastest growing country in the entire report, demonstrating incredible growth from over $537 million in 21 to nearly $1.4 billion by 33. That's an astounding 8.931% CAGR.
Almost 9%.
Almost 9%. This rapid acceleration is just a clear indicator of emerging markets, rising incomes, a significant new consumer base really investing in personal care.
And Nigeria makes a substantial contribution, too, surging from about $426 million to over $1 billion by 2033. That's an 8.614% CAGR. Also huge.
Absolutely huge.
And the rest of Africa category also shows healthy growth, around 5.8%, further solidifying the continent's emergence.
Yeah, and if we connect this back to the bigger picture, Africa's consistently impressive growth rates, they signal a profound shift. It suggests just immense untapped market potential for these appliances, driven by, a young, rapidly urbanizing population embracing new standards of self-care. It's definitely a region to watch very, very closely for future innovation and trends.
So pulling it all together, what does this all mean for you, our informed learner?
Well, it reinforces that overarching theme we've seen. The personal care appliances market is on a strong, undeniable upward path globally. It's not just a niche anymore, it's fundamental to modern consumer behavior.
Exactly. And to summarize the key takeaway, yes, North America and Europe remain these mature, expanding markets, providing that foundational volume. But the real dynamism, the leading growth potential, that's clearly found in Africa, Asia-Pacific, and the Middle East. These are the regions really reshaping the future of personal care.
And this growth isn't happening in a vacuum, right? It's directly connected to those underlying drivers the source identified. Increasing demand reflecting rising incomes, evolving lifestyles, and of course continuous technological innovation making these gadgets better and more accessible. Which raises, I think, an important question for you to consider. As global incomes continue to rise, as lifestyles keep evolving, what does this sustained boom in personal care appliances really tell us about changing beauty standards and self-care practices worldwide? And maybe even more interestingly, what new innovations might emerge from these high-growth regions like Africa or parts of Asia that could redefine our understanding of personal well-being, not just for them, but potentially for all of us?